Welcome to the Exit Plan Show. Today's guest is John Brown. He's with Business Enterprise Institute in Golden, Colorado, and he's the author of How to Run Your Business So You Can Leave It in Style, which is the #1 selling book about exit planning. For more information about John and his book, take a look at our show notes after this episode. Thank you to Zarlingo Robb, CPAs and Business Advisors in Wheat Ridge, Colorado, for providing a location for us to film this episode. At Zarlingo Robb, they think like business owners. For more information about Zarlingo Robb, please click the link in our website show notes. Hi, I'm Norman A. Hood, financial advisor and host of the Exit Plan Show. I interview America's top advisors to help business owners like you enjoy more freedom, grow your company faster, and retire someday on your own terms. Now, today's guest is Business Enterprise Institute founder John Brown. He's from Golden, Colorado. And he's the author of How to Run Your Business So You Can Leave It in Style, which is the #1 selling book about exit planning. Now, if you want more information about John, about Business Enterprise Institute, about John's book, please visit the show notes on our website. Welcome to the Exit Plan Show, John. Today we're going to talk about Step 5 of the exit planning process, which is transferring your business to an insider. So just go ahead.
Thanks, Norm. In the last step, we talked about a third-party sale process, and I point out that only 25% of owners actually pursue a third-party sale exit, at least with the exit plans our members create. Mm-hmm. Instead, 2/3 of the exit plans we create are transfers to insiders, key employees, management, a co-owner, or children. Mm-hmm. And by definition, none of these people have any money. Right. So how is it that we can successfully transfer business to somebody the owner wants to transfer the business to, somebody they already know and like and respect, or maybe their children, and not face a lot of risk, not lose control of the business when the transfer is made, and get all the value they want. Mm-hmm. So let's look at this third-party transfer scenario from the standpoint of risk, control, and value.
Okay.
What tends to happen is when I ask an owner, gosh, would you like to transfer the business to a key employee or a child? They would say, yeah, I'd like to do it, but my kids and my key employees can't run the business. Mm-hmm. Or my kids and my key employees don't have any money. Mm-hmm. Or I don't want to take the risk and sell all the business to them right now. I'm sure that I'm not going to get paid my money. And in fact, that's 100% true. Mm-hmm. Most management, most key employees, most children today are not ready and able to run your business. Mm-hmm. None of them, in my experience, have the money on hand to buy you out for the full value that you want for your company. But we can design a process, you, the owner, can design a process that allows for a number of things to happen. First, you determine if the children and the key employees really want to be owners. We make the assumption they want to be owners, but they may not really have the desire and the ambition to be owners. So that's the first thing that has to happen. The second thing is that they have to want to do what's necessary to become fully capable of running and owning the business. Mm-hmm. So some of this deals with the personal attributes of to whom you want to transfer the business to. And for that, exit planning doesn't do a lot, although we can help prepare the incoming owner for the responsibilities of becoming an owner. Mm-hmm. So that by itself is pretty valuable. So as we look at control and value and risk, what we do is to say, hey, let's not transfer the whole business today. Mm-hmm. Because then if you transfer it to somebody, they're only going to be able to give you a promissory note. You have to hope that they can run the business and hope that the business can succeed when you're no longer there running it. And the risk is just immense.
I have a bankrupt client that did that.
Yeah, that happens, and I've seen it happen so many times. The very first case I saw this happen was my dad. When he sold his business many years ago, he sold it to his key employee who had no money for a promissory note, and sure enough, after about 6 months or a year, the note went into default. My dad tried to come back in, take over the business, but it was pretty much gone.
Yeah.
And so that is what most of us think of as a transfer to insiders, but it just doesn't have to be that way. Instead, we can say, well, what I will do is I will transfer a small part of the business to you, key employee or child, each year, maybe 5% of non-voting stock, provided the company does something that makes it more valuable, increasing the cash flow over some threshold value. And every year the company reaches perhaps a higher threshold, I will sell you a little bit more of the company, provided the company and you perform. If it doesn't, you can't buy any more interest. If it does, you get to buy more of the company. Well, that does a number of things. It allows us to keep 100% control because we're never selling any voting stock or voting interest at all at first. It allows us to make sure the value of the company increases, so our cash flow as the owner still increases, even though we're selling off small parts of it. It gives the management or the kids time to develop their capabilities in running and managing the business without as much involvement from the ownership, from you, the owner, and allows you, the owner, to start to back away from working your tail off in the business 6 days a week as your management team develops. So over a time period, and usually this is between 4 and 10 years, 5 and 10 years, at some point the insiders will have purchased and paid for enough of the ownership interest to go to the bank, if they've again proven they can run the business without the owner, to go to the bank and borrow the balance of the purchase price and pay the owner off in cash. And only at that time does the owner transfer a controlling interest in the company. Until then, they absolutely control the business. So this is one of a number of different techniques we have developed at BEI that we train our advisors to use. And again, that was just a $50,000 over or 50,000 foot overview of what that transfer process looks like. It's involved, it's step by step, but it allows you to retain control, minimize your risk, and get the money you want from the business in order to exit in style.
Okay, great. Okay, so that summed up step 5. If you want more information about that, go to the show notes on our website. You can also find more information about John Brown and BEI there too. While you're on the website, subscribe to our newsletter, which also gives you the opportunity to win a free copy of John's #1 selling book about exit planning.